Hong Kong Direct is your weekly show which delivers you the best of everything that is Hong Kong racing. Great to have your company here on this week's edition. I'm Tom Wood, and here's what we've got coming up for you on the show. We've got our special guest Alexis Badel to join us in a few moments' time. He's had a frustrating 6 or 7 weeks sitting on the sidelines, but he's back in business this weekend at Sharton with a total of 5 rides. And also coming up on the show this week, we've got Group 3 racing at Sharton with the Bohemia Sprint Trophy down the straight over 1,000 metres. Last year's winner Master 8 with nervous witness Courier Wonder for Zach Purton. And at the top of the weight, Skyfield takes his place for trainer Caspar Fownes. Well, as I alluded to off the top of the show, our special guest on this week's edition of Hong Kong Direct is jockey Alexis Badel. Alexis, first of all, a Happy New Year to you. How's things been going in the little untimely break that you've had over the last 6 or 7 weeks?
Thank you. Same to you. Things have been good and smooth. I've been training hard on my rehab to be able to come back a bit quicker than I thought, and in good form, so I'm very happy, very promising.
First of all, let's just go back to your injuries. Going back to sort of the end part of November, you had that nasty fall over the last 100 metres at Sharton. What exactly were the extent of your injuries following that fall?
Well, as you mentioned, it was quite nasty. I had dislocated and fractured left shoulder, and on top of that, a fracture at the right ankle. So not easy to move after that. And but luckily, I mean, all the medical team, the staff from the Union Hospital, and the medical team from the associated to the jockey club, and like they all looked after me very well, and made it a lot easier for me to handle the pain, and they really had a good care of me.
What was worse for you? Was it the ankle injury or the shoulder injury?
No, the shoulder was way worse. I mean, it's very painful. Like any dislocation is very painful, but with a fracture, it's not something very enjoyable. But luckily, they went very quick. They've been so professional, and they really managed to handle the injury, and even my rehabilitation was great, because the first after a few weeks, I was able to train, to work on my rehab, cardio, every other muscle in my body. So I'm grateful, and they allowed me to come back in good form very quickly.
Of course, it's not the first time you've had sort of injuries like this, or similar anyway, because in France a few years ago you had a really nasty fall there. In terms of getting back in the saddle, do sometimes you think about those things psychologically when you get out on a horse, that these things can happen?
That's a very good question. I'd say I'm more passionate, and I'm very keen to be back to the races more than anything else. So that comes to as a second thought. Like, I don't even really think about it. I just can't wait to be back on the racing, to race again, and that's all. So I don't really think about it. Yeah, that's of course that's painful injuries, but my passion for the sports and the adrenaline that I'm looking for is much more powerful.
Up until you had that fall at Sharton at the end of November, you were flying along quite nicely. Were you happy with the way the season was progressing for you?
I think so. I think I could have had a bit more winners with better circumstances, but I think I was going well and associated to few good horses. So it's never ideal to be interrupted at this stage of the season, but I'm confident I will bounce back very, very quickly, and I'll feel great mentally and physically. So I just need to get the ball rolling again.
As a consequence of that fall, you of course missed out on Wellington and the international sprint here in Hong Kong. How much of a bitter pill was that to swallow, having to sit in the grandstands and watch him win in the manner that he did?
Well, from a jockey perspective, it's always hard to be left on the scene, and you just spectator. This is never easy, but also, you know, that's sports, that's races in particular. So these things happen, and I'm very grateful that I was able to watch the race, because it was a nasty fall, and some of the jockeys didn't have the chance to come back from that sort of fall. So I'm very grateful that I was able to see my family and come back so quick. And you don't really think about that. I'm like, it's very tough at that time, but you move forward very quickly.
You've got 5 rides this coming Sunday at Sharton. Of course, a ride in the Group 3 sprint down the straight aboard the Richard Gibson trained at Cordyceps 6. How do you think he's going, and how do you think he's going to perform at the weekend back down the straight?
I think the horse is going very well. He's a nice horse, very talented, and he's got a very good record over the 1,000 meters. So I believe he's going to run well. The race seems to be very strong, I would say, but he should run a very good race.
Also, another ride you got at the weekend is Thesis in the Class 3 restricted race for the 4-year-olds. His first up run, I thought, didn't look too bad. And how was his work on Monday?
I agree. I think the horse is coming gradually. I would expect him a better race and some improvements. But as you mentioned, his track work was fine last time, and seems like he has improved. So I expect him to run a good race. Looks very competitive and a strong Class 3, but the horse has potential, and hopefully he will improve enough to show something good.
Well, thanks for your time here this afternoon, Alexis, on the show. We look forward to seeing you back on the track on Sunday afternoon, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Our thanks to Alexis Badel for joining us here on the show this week. Well, as I alluded to before, we've got feature racing coming up here in Hong Kong at this weekend with the Bohemia Sprint Trophy. It is the second feature race for the year of 2023, and the headline act is Skyfield, carrying the 135 pounds with Super Wealthy. Sight Success ran an absolutely enormous race in the International Sprint. Master 8 was last year's winner of this race for Frankie Law. Kerpenny there, Nervous Witness back in action as well. Rewarding Together's been flying around Happy Valley, and Lucky With You off a rating of 99, carrying 115 pounds. A man that's got some interesting plans for one of his horses this campaign is Caspar Fownes. Let's hear what he's got to say about Skyfield.
You know, he's been a very consistent horse, always puts in for us. Yeah, that's what he is. You know, he's tough and strong, and gives us a big effort every time we send him to the races.
He hasn't, of course, won since the 2021 sprint, but yeah. Where do you feel he's at the moment?
Yeah, he's back in good form. Obviously, we go to the race on the weekend under handicap conditions. He's carrying a big weight. You know, he's run well down that straight a few times already, and shows that he'll be strong to the line the last part of the race. And like anything, it's just a nice race going forward to set him up for his next start, and then we plan to take him to Dubai after that.
You mentioned he's run well down the straight in the past, and in that effort, National Day Cup, I think it was, he was a lot handy. That was a smaller field. Could we potentially see him race handy again?
No, I don't want him to race too handy. He'll be back, and he'll be working on hitting the line.
You sent him up to Chung Fa. Is he one of those horses that benefits with the more relaxed environment up there?
100%. You know, Chung Fa is a godsend for us. It's been great for horses in Hong Kong. Really gets them in the zone, gets them to focus, gets a lot less traffic up there. Conditions are better because we get to work on the grass with these horses, which is really, really good. It's not overtaxing on them, and it certainly helps in their preparation going forward.
You mentioned travelling to Dubai. You're not afraid of travelling a horse. Is he the type of horse that you think would handle that sort of racing well over there?
Yeah, I think he'd love it, you know. Just deciding on which race we go for. You know, it's probably going to be the straight 6, but there's also a dirt there, which he's trialled extremely well on the dirt surfaces, yes. So I might give him a pre-race on that dirt surface to see if he handles it well. But at this stage, we go for the straight 6, the Alquoz Sprint.
Caspar Fownes touching on the plans there of the Skyfield, and he lines up in Sunday afternoon's feature at Sharton, the Group 3 Bohemia Sprint Trophy at 4:35. That is all part of the 11 races. We're on here at 12 o'clock. The first race coming through at 12:30. Happy Valley Wednesday night, the City Circuit, and it's Group 3 action there with the January Cup, the only feature race we run in town. And then we're back to Sharton next Sunday on the 15th of January for racing there. Before we leave you on this week's edition of Hong Kong Direct, the famous colours of Silent Witness are going around on Sunday afternoon in the Bohemia Sprint Trophy. Of course, Nervous Witness lining up there for David Hayes, but we'll leave you with the win of Silent Witness going back to 2004. This was when he made it 9 from 9 here in Hong Kong. We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Silent Witness leads down to the 600 by a length and a half and draws the lead. Prime Witness second. Celestial Magic stays deep. They don't want to get near this champ in front. Firebolt coming with a bit of a rush now, getting with the length of the leader and making an early dash at him. Silent Witness in front. Firebolt, bold move, rushes to him. Century Star is about a length and a half off them. Planet Ruler, Prime Witness, Celestial Magic now battles. Cape of Good Hope's flat out. Silent Witness is in front. It's been very bold by Marcus on Firebolt to make the champ find something, but he's responded. In the flick of a rain, he found 2 lengths and darted away. Firebolt, Cape of Good Hope out very wide, getting home late. Silent Witness, 9 out of 9, a true star. Wins easily from Cape of Good Hope.